many times, so many times, I have tried to explain how I feel since the conclusion of the greatest anime of my time, Attack on Titan. Oh yes, I went there, though I'm not sure if it is on the very top of my list of favorites just yet, but what I can say is that as it fights its way to the top along with Hunter x Hunter, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and of course, One Piece, I can concur that Attack on Titan is arguably one of the greatest animes of all time as of November 2023. Though these are just my little opinions, we cannot count out Attack on Titan as a topic as the greatest that has ever been done. No matter the loopholes, the mysteria, the blanks, or anything else Attack on Titan fans and non-fans alike may say, the simplicity of it all is that Attack on Titan is a masterpiece, not just because of its use of beautiful scenery of these humanoid monsters called Titans, but its use of suspense and emotional ties, hysteria, and its verisimilitudinous fiction. Oh yeah, I went there, yeah, and I said a large word. Go ahead and look it up because I know I had to. But what I mean by that is like it relates to things that's going on here in real life and so much more. My mind cannot help but wonder about Hajime. Like, what does it take to get a mind like this? To portray a story in such a way that most have trouble with even comprehending the right words to make sense of it all. But it's not in a sense of not knowing per se, but just to come up with an epiphany one day and then write it in ways that we, the consumers, can understand or eventually will understand. It truly baffles me. That being said, there is so much to hash out. How does one even begin? I wanted to take my time with this review and give it the proper rundown it deserves, or at least try to, in my own way, the best way I could, by writing it all out. With Attack on Titan, I realize how much I'm into writing as much as I am because I just love the complexity of it all. And I've been looking up things like screenplays, like from Avatar. Avatar is really similar and really touches me in a way that that Attack on Titan does as well. And I think I want to start, even though I'm writing books as well and novels, I want to start writing screenplays too. I think I was looking and put myself in a little rabbit hole. But anyways, it really helped me really appreciate writing and the human mind and how people come up with this. And I just want to ask so many questions. But anyways, back to the story at hand. Y'all don't understand how much I appreciate Attack on Titan. I know this because I couldn't even understand, especially when I started watching it. Attack on Titan made me realize even more how I can't pay attention to I know I can't, but just how much I missed everything the first go round of watching the show. Maybe because I'm older and I can see and watch things more clearly now, but rewatching things such as this show really has me thinking about how much I missed out on so much. But having a long wait in between seasons, especially the finales, it didn't help much either. But I even forgot the premise of the freaking show at one point, and even the archetypes of the characters, i.e. Eren, like how he stayed the same, but we were thinking he changed a bit when he got older, looking cool with his long brown dark hair, rock hard abs, and ready to commit mass genocide. And we were like, yeah, let's go Eren. We were right along with him blindly and not even seeing the bigger picture. I know his goal was to save Eldia and his friends, and he had to do the unthinkable to reach those goals and all. And all I wanted to do was see the rumbling over Marley, and that was it. Or maybe most of the world, and say, yay, he won. They showed their strength, and I was naive. That really showed how naive I was and how I wanted to see the destruction of the world, or at least how they were going to show it. I was so into seeing the rumbling happen and seeing Eldia win, I did not see or could not see or refused to see the bigger picture. Looking back, I feel like that we were looking at the world, the majority of us while watching this, I feel like we were looking at it as we were the Jaegerists. Like Eren was our savior and from the world and forever will be our enemy. And I believe the Eldia Jaegerists couldn't let it go when hundreds of years later, commenced war on the world again eventually. Eren was not alive to tell them that they could or should stop, or even still, who knows if they would have listened, because like Mikasa explained so beautifully, the world is a cruel place. Eren was in agony. He hated himself and what he had to do. So much so, it influenced him on the way he looked. He grew out his hair, his smiles, the little smiles that he had, turned into frowns. His fiery personality burnt out. His lively, determined, passionate eyes became blank and exhausted. A YouTuber really opened my eyes to this and helped me see the deeper picture into anime than I ever had before, which strengthened my appreciation for it that much more. Their channel is called Sea Tactics. They explain like and talk about a whole bunch of shonen anime, and they're really cool. You should go check out their channel. Thanks for posting all that you do, and I cannot wait to see more content from you. But yeah, this YouTuber really opened my mind even more so to the anime, and I really appreciated that. Rewatching the whole series a month before the finale really helped a lot, as well as I knew I forgot a lot. I knew I missed a lot, and quite frankly, I did not understand a lot. Let's be real. The suspense was like an insatiable hunger that like through each episode, and I just wanted to consume more and more. Side note, I recommend to any watcher or potential viewer of Attack on Titan anime to watch the anime all the way through and really watch. Don't try to figure anything out too much, but to really enjoy Eren, Armin, and Mikasa and the scouts on their journey. Then, in about a month or two, when everything has settled down in your brain, watch it again. Analyze what you know now to what is happening in the story, and you will be blown away by the foreshadowing, the idea, and the vision. I want to run through it again when the English dub comes out, when the finale comes out, and watch it all the way through again. Then again in Japanese, or vice versa, whichever the two. But I want to watch it two more times in both languages. I just wanted to show my gratitude, even if it was just a simple YouTube video, especially after seeing so many other Attack on Titan peeps express their love online through various reaction videos, explainers, and their own personal interpretations and views of the story. I felt like it was only right if I attempt to express my views on it as well. I tried out so many options to get my view of Attack on Titan out there, but it just didn't seem right. Like reactions, explainers, reviews, and I was even gonna stream myself watching the last episode so we could get through the torture together type thing. But I thought it would be much more personal to take it all in when I first see it and then review about it. Plus, I didn't have the right tech to do how I wanted to do it anyways. I'd love to sit down with Hajime one day and to really speak with him and pick his mind to really see how brilliant minds like him work. Like Oda, the creator of One Piece, really tick. From the slightest minute details or questions to ones that they didn't even think about. Maybe one day. Maybe. Anyways, so many times I've thought about why it took so long for the Attack on Titan to come to its conclusion. I believe, was there issues with MAPPA animating it, voice actors unavailable to dub their portions in time, or maybe they just wanted us to wait until agony, and it felt like the most worst waiting game known to mankind. Whatever the reason, I am grateful. I thought I prepared myself and more than enough time to do so. I just wanted it to end already so I can move on. But still, I wasn't prepared. Plus, one thing about me, I don't rush art. Art takes time. Quality takes time. I'd rather wait for a project to look amazing than to have it half-assed and done fast, which can probably noticeably be seen, i.e. Game of Thrones, but we're not gonna get into it. After watching the finale, it took me a whole day for it to settle in, and the day after was so comically horrible that you would have thought I had lost a loved one. I conflicted, infuriated, I wept, I laughed, I mourned, but most of all, I appreciated. I believe I went through the 5 stages of grief in few words more than none, but the wait was well needed and oh so very worth. The attention to detail, the setting, the characters, especially the characters, the meaning behind it all, everything was so phenomenally well done. Brilliant. I felt so humbled and honored to witness the greatest finale in anime history. In my time, anyways. Maybe. When I came into work, my coworker asked me, so is it any good? And she was genuinely asking because she's heard about Attack on Titan, but was wondering if it was worth the watch. And after I vomited a whole bunch of words to her explaining what a masterpiece Attack on Titan is, good was just an understatement. I weaved out to her for at least an hour or two. I told her how I wept like a baby in the finale, but she truly couldn't understand why. She said to me, so how is it good if it made you sad and cry? All I did was look at her and smile as tears rushed to my eyelids. After watching the last episode with my friends, I felt very uneasy as everyone sat down and talked about like their favorite parts in the show and how the server was down for an hour while we were waiting in agony for it to start. I sat in my old creaky chair and just stared off into space. My sister even had to ask if I was okay. I was like, yeah, I'm fine, knowing deep down I was not okay. I could not believe it was like everything was over, and also that I was very curious about the ending. There were so many things going on in my mind about that ending, and I felt very uneasy. I felt it was like an unnerving feeling. It felt like a piece of me got yanked away from my body without my consent. And as soon as everyone left, after we did our little watch party, I cried. I cried. I wouldn't cry just because it was the last episode, but because Attack on Titan was and is a part of me. It, along with a few other projects, introduced me to anime, like Fairy Tail, Sword Art Online, but anime was my literal lifeline at one point, but we'll get into that another time. It put into perspective how much time can be spent on things you love rather than wasted, and the true importance of living life. I also wept for those who loved this anime just as much, if not more, than I did and didn't live to see the last episode. For ones who'd never give the story a chance, or to never see it through, or couldn't comprehend it or bypass it. And for the ones I knew who'd say they hated it and felt like this was the worst ending of all time and that they wasted their time. But in my opinion, I felt like it was the perfect ending for this story. Even if I didn't like it or understand it at first, I'm glad I really analyzed it, because if I didn't, I would have believed that I would have had that uneasiness for a long time, at least for a week. I believe I also cried because it showed me that after this, after you go through challenges in life and you go over humps, that it will be okay. Like, after an ending of something, I feel like it is okay. Things will be okay. That there is life after this. I'm speaking in more of a rhetorical sense here, but as it feels like after the end credits left, I felt like it was like a sort of what now feeling. And then after a week or so I kind of got back to normal, and then I started really deep thinking about Attack on Titan. I really started considering the depth of the characters and their meaning, especially Mikasa and Armin. I believe every named character involved had meaning in the story, even side characters like Marco, for example. You'd think he's just a filler character, but he is a big reason for Reina's mental break. And if Reina hadn't broke, he, Annie, and Bertold might have succeeded in their mission, or even Ymir. It took me a minute to figure out, but I believe she wasn't just there to entertain us with her little love fling with Historia, because she was here to eat the Jaw Titan, because if she hadn't, Rainier plans would have fell through and Eldia would have been destroyed as well. So these are a couple of my theories that I had in mind, but if you want me to do like a hash down of the characters and like make like a video for it, give it a thumbs up. I'll do it if you guys want me to. I like do like a little hash down, like a rundown of a theory that I have for all the characters. But for now, I'm just gonna briefly focus on Mikasa and Armin's importance. For Armin was more than Eren and Mikasa's best friend slash third wheel. I felt like he wasn't particularly given the flowers he deserved. He reminds me a lot of Deku, the protagonist of My Hero Academia. But for some reason, characters that seem wimpy-ish or unsure and emotional, especially as males in shonen, don't seem to do very well and don't get the flowers they deserve, even if they deserve them. As you would assume, shonen is made for boys, and boys are taught that signs of weakness, per se, is seen as being a wimp or cowardly or simply a— But as time evolves, I hope this double standard can change too. Armin's evolution is commendable though. He's changed some, but his core values never did. Always making the tough decisions when it came down to it, protecting his friends and even the world when it came down to it. He would make the hard choices, the right choices, especially when countered or it feels like there's no hope. He was vital in Eren's plan because if no one could make the right decision, he always trusted Armin would make the right one. As for Mikasa, on the other hand, I'm shocked beyond belief. Because of her undying love for Eren, I couldn't see how strong this woman is. Because throughout the whole series, she didn't have to put up with Eren's shit. She wanted to, because she loved him. But just because she loved him didn't mean she was trapped or so-called enslaved by him, or would do whatever he wished just because he said so type thing. But when he would get into trouble or he would about to get into trouble, she would always try to like mentor him into doing better and having a better option. Even though we all know Eren's stubborn ass did not listen most of the time, and she still went along, and he still did it his way, and she would follow him, but she wouldn't follow him blindly, and that's why she would always get him out of pickles. I was not seeing the bigger picture, and I'm so glad she didn't turn out the way I thought. I can say with confidence with Matoi from Kill la Kill, my favorite peach. She's one of my favorite female protagonists to date. Not only does Mikasa show off her amazing fighting skills throughout the whole entire series, even through her most vulnerable times, but also her strength. Let me make this clear. I do love girl power, but it was never really portrayed properly to me. The girl would be half naked or do a cute little power move and not really help the protagonist a little or not at all, and she would be seen as something as not taken seriously because of these things and more. But I loved how Kill la Kill used it, parodied it, and made it, and took it to their advantage, and I love that. And Matoi was actually a strong individual. It wasn't just because she was a strong female, she was just a strong person. And that's what I think about Mikasa. I didn't see her gender when she fought or showed her love for Eren. I just saw a person who was willing to get things done no matter the cost. Mikasa is by far my favorite female anime side character, quote unquote, or of all time, because she reminds me a lot of myself and who I want to be. undeniably strong. I could go on and on and on about this stuff, but I don't want to drown it out. Attack on Titan is the GOAT, and I will always appreciate this art for many rest of my life years to come. And let me know if you guys like this little rant, I guess it is, rant review hash down, and I'll definitely do more. Probably will do more when I find more anime that speaks to me like this one does. But this one is always gonna have a special place in my heart, and I really hope it does for you guys too, and I really hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed it with your friends, and we have to keep it alive. Yes. I can't make it. Somebody put it on now. I love you guys, and thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe. It helps your girl out a lot, so much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.